What is the most challenging thing to do in all of Final Fantasy XIV? You say, Extreme Trials? Nah, Extreme Trials cower before this. You claim savage raids? But alas, these are but tamed kittens before this mighty foe. You proclaim ultimate raids? But oh no. Those are more like introductory raids when compared to this. The content I speak of is of course Housing Savage, which is by no means a surprise, considering the title of this video. To get a house requires legendary levels of skill, luck, and of course, persistence. However, it seems that the developers are not so keen on having this content be such a struggle that players must overcome. They are taking effort to implement changes so that the process of getting our own little slice of heaven is a little less obnoxious. The process right now. So, right now the process of getting a house is, first, finding a ward with an empty plot of land. This involves painstakingly going through every ward available and trying to find one that has a plot for sale. How do you know if a plot is for sale? Well, it will have a price attached to it instead of an owner. In this footage, I was not able to find a single empty plot. This really goes to show just how difficult even this first step can be. After you find a plot for sale, the next step is swiftly getting yourself to that empty plot and hunkering down in front of the placard for the next step in this whole process. You see, just because a plot is up for sale, it does not mean you can buy it right now. Oh no. You are now within a window where it can go up for purchase at any time within that window. So you better be prepared to start spamming your interact key at that placard over and over again, and hope to God you are the lucky one to get the message that you bought the plot. You know what this reminds me of? Farming HNMs in Final Fantasy XI. If you are not sure what I am talking about here, in Final Fantasy XI, HNMs were basically bosses that spawned in the open world, and they were open for all Link shells to try and claim, and they also spawned in windows. From the start of a window, the boss could either immediately spawn, or in some cases spawn many hours later. You had to wait, but you couldn't relax. You had to be ready at all times for the boss to spawn, and you needed your wits about you to be the first to pull it. That is the housing system at the moment. You are forced to stand around for hours, spamming your interact key in a mostly vain attempt to claim the plot of land, and you have everyone else on the server that wants that plot of land doing the exact same thing. There is a reason this is called Housing Savage, and it completely disrespects your time, which is one of the few areas that Final Fantasy XIV actually does that. Winning a plot of land, good luck. It could take months of doing this song and dance. What the developers are doing. So, what are the developers doing to make this better? Well, one of the first big things is that players will be punished for buying plots of land with the intent to resell it. You know, I feel the same way about players who do that as people who buy out all the PlayStation 5s and then resell them on eBay for some extortionist levels of money. It's a slimy thing taking something that is already hard enough to come by and then make it even more expensive to get. So this should take some players out of the equation, making the odds a bit better for you. Live letter announcements. The most recent live letter detailed some other measures that the developers were taking to alleviate some other housing woes. The first thing that they spoke about was that relocation to land not yet ready for purchase will be removed as of 6.0. This kind of blows my mind that it was something you could do to begin with. It really favors players with houses and allows them to more easily get ideal spots over players without. The rich get richer, Can you imagine standing at a placard, spamming your interact key for hours, trying to buy the land for when it finally goes up for sale, just to get a message that someone relocated to that space? Yeah, that would be pretty demoralizing, right? This will for sure make things a bit more fair. Next up, land evaluation will be removed in 6.1. So basically, what land evaluation did was reduce the price of a plot of land based on how long it was up for sale. I cannot imagine plots of land being up for extended periods of time, with how hard it is to get said plots of land. I can only imagine they are removing this feature because it really doesn't serve a purpose. In 6.1, it will also no longer be possible to grant brand new full company members the ability to purchase land. So what that will do is take out even more players from being competition for land purchases. I've even heard there were cases of full companies owning entire wards, and that just seems kind of ridiculous to me. So hopefully this will open up land to more players outside of certain full companies. The lottery system. The biggest and best change I think they announced is the lottery system. As the name implies, players find a placard for land that they want, and then enter into a lottery for that land. They must pay the full price of the plot to enter into the lottery. The player will receive a number, and after a set amount of time, the winning numbers are decided. If the winner does not claim the plot within the time frame specified, that plot gets put into the next lottery, and the player that won is refunded 50% of the cost. You will get a pretty steep punishment for entering the lottery and not claiming your prize. If you didn't win the lottery, you can get a full refund within a specified limited time frame. To keep things fair, players may only enter one lottery per period. You know, when you think about it, that's not so different from the current system. They say it's first come, first served, but if you happened upon a plot of land that was up for sale and no one was there, you basically won the lottery, right? What are the odds of that actually happening? I mean, currently, you are standing around, spamming your interact key in the hope that you beat the other players doing the exact same thing. There's still going to be a bit of luck if you happen to win the lot. That's not all that different from the lottery system they mentioned, except you don't have to stand around for hours on end spamming your interact key at the placard. You can go do other things that are actually fun. So, they said the lottery system wouldn't be universal, and that the developers could choose where to implement it from the back end. They want our feedback on if we prefer a lottery system or first come first serve. You know, after we played around with the lottery system in Endwalker. I can already tell you without even using the lottery system that I would vastly prefer it. The first come first serve system, as I said before, it's completely disrespecting players' time, and even worse is when you lose and realize you wasted all that time and energy. You know, at the very least, if you are putting all this time and energy into an activity, you would think you would get something out of it. Closing thoughts. So, here are my closing thoughts on the housing changes and system in general. I think these changes are all really good. They are taking steps in the right direction to make obtaining a house much more equitable. However, this does little to alleviate the problem of not enough houses, way too many players. And I'm not sure what they could do about that. I guess getting a house is just always going to be a difficult thing to do. But at least it doesn't have to be the annoying time sink that it is right now. I suppose if you enjoy having the feeling that you are in more control over your destiny of getting the house, it's a good thing that they will keep the first come, first serve system as an option. Anyways, what do you think of the upcoming housing changes? Do you think the lottery system is vastly better than the first come, first serve system? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day.